What is going on? Time for an update. So, you see probably from the title of this video, I am again eligible for my very first payout. Only thing is, I'm probably not going to take it yet. And I want to talk about why. So, I said again because the first time I was able to take a payout on this funded account, the balance was about 200 bucks, maybe a little bit over. I could only take like a payout of 100 bucks. This time, as you can see, my balance on my top step, and this is a 50K funded account, is a little bit over 300 bucks. So that means that I'll be eligible to take out a payout of around about 120, and I'll show you this really quickly here in my payouts. I've had 10 profitable days. You only need 5. The only reason why it's 10 is because I pretty much started this funded account in drawdown like a couple of months ago. So it's taken me like a month or so to really slowly build, and I'm doing really small risks. Like I'm only risking 0.3% per trade on this 50K account. So maximum drawdown is obviously 2,000 if you've used Top Step. My maximum loss really is usually only about 100 to 150 bucks. I'm slowly increasing that, but right now I'm comfortable with doing like 150 bucks as my stop loss, usually as my risk per trade. And it's been working out really well. So as you see here, my eligible amount is about 158 US. So if we do that, 158 bucks, 225 Australian, because I'm obviously in Australia, I'm probably not going to take it yet. Now, part of me is thinking, it's possible that I can take this payout just to say that I've taken a payout. But deep down, I know that it's going to be more meaningful for me if I take a payout. My number that I've got in my head is at least 400 to 500 US. Okay, so I want to get my balance to about 1,000 bucks, which I'm about 700 off. So I'm in my 50K funded account, as you can see here, balance 312 bucks. Let's look at the equity curve for a while, for a little bit. So as you see here, this is from the 29th of the 12th. I've had this account longer than that. But as you see here, it's slowly come back up. I was right down at 855 bucks and I brought myself back up slowly. So that was on the 22nd I was down. So it's actually not, it's only been, 6 days since then, and I've been able to bring it back. But I want to talk about the winning days and the sort of losing days that I had beforehand, because this is important. Okay, so let's go to the monthly P&L. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losing days in a row. Here's the thing I want to note, and this can help you if you are someone who's going through like a losing streak, or you're struggling at the moment and you feel like you're never going to be profitable, you feel like you can't get out of drawdown. This is how important risk management is. So I have set up on this account, it was $250 max loss limit per day. I've upped it to 300 because if I'm doing $150 per trade, I want to at least allow myself for like a maximum of 2 losses per day before I get myself locked out. So if that $250 or now $300 max loss limit, it's hit, as you can see here, I haven't really gone much over 250 bucks. Okay, sometimes it's even less. If I feel like I'm not reading the charts right, or just trades aren't playing out how I want them to, or I have a couple of losses and I hit that daily loss limit, this account gets locked out and I cannot physically trade. Usually what happens when I have a loss, I get off the computer, I go for a walk, I go out, I do something, I do work, right? And I just leave the charts. That's the biggest thing. The backup plan is the daily loss limit. So if I have 2 losses, or if that daily loss limit's hit, I'm completely locked out. I have no choice but to leave this account, come back the next day. It locks out for 24 hours, or at least it locks out to the opening of the next trading day, okay? Now, the biggest thing here, because I've been so strict on my risk management, okay, before I show you the trades that got me out of this drawdown, the biggest thing is risk management. So even though I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losing days in a row, and up here I had 1, 2, 3, 4 losing days in a row, you check out the monthly P&L, I'm still up 500 bucks for the month, right? So why that's important is because it only took me really 2 trades, maybe 3 trades, okay, 3 winning days all up, to get myself out of this, right? And in profit. So not only, I've got a bit, get that off, got a bit of fluff on here. So not only did I get out of drawdown? Am I out of drawdown? But I'm in profit now. So I went from negative 855 bucks, and mind you, this is with risk management. That's why I've been able to keep it above water and not blow the account, right? Negative 855 bucks all the way up to $317 in 1 week. So you can see here, just this week, up 800 bucks. Okay, now the one thing to note is that you can't focus on the numbers. Okay, you can't focus on the profit. The biggest thing for me and the biggest mental shift that I've had to have these winning days is each day before I get onto the charts or before I take any trades, I do my analysis for the day. Okay, and I usually trade micro NASDAQ, so MNQ or gold, micro gold. I do my analysis for the day and I focus on the process. I focus on the trades that I know how to take and only go for high quality setups. If it's a setup that I'm not sure about, I won't take it, or I'll forward test it, or maybe even take it on the eval account. I've got another valuation 50K that at the moment is not my focus, so I'm okay with that. I think I've got a couple of free resets on that anyway. So I'm not focused on that. But for high quality setups, I focus on this account, okay? And that's what's gotten me to this point. This is, I think, my best week yet since I started the account. If I go back, yeah, so I started this account in drawdown back in November. These are negative weekly P&L, right? And then December I had 300, 100, 300, and then I started off this year, that was December 2025. I started off this year not too crash hot. First day that I traded this year, yes, I'm up, but then I went negative 600, negative 11, so basically break even, and then negative 160, and now I'm up plus, so in profit, 884 bucks, right? Just for this week. So my goal from here, before I show you the trades, is I want to get this balance to 1,000. Okay, I want this at 1,000, so then at least when I take a payout, it's going to be meaningful to me. This is just to me. You don't have to follow me. A lot of people would have taken a payout by now. I feel like it's just going to be meaningful to me. I want to get my balance to like 1,000 or over. That proves to me, okay, I can do that. I can see that in my account, and I feel like I'll actually feel like I've really, I guess proven to myself that I can take that amount of payout. So I wanted to at least be about 500 bucks US, right? So let's have a look at these trades. So this was the first trade. This was on the 26th, so 2 days ago. This is one of the trades that got me out. This was on NASDAQ. Now this was on Asia opening. Okay, so what happened, I had a bullish bias. I don't go too much off of bias, but I have a bias in the back of my head most of the time at the start of the day. So my bias was bullish. We're in an uptrend on NASDAQ. The markets are actually flying at the moment. But when we had our opening candle on Asia, which is at about, so this is at about 9 o'clock. This opened, had a huge drop down. This created a sweep, and there's a low to the left-hand side, which doesn't show, but that was one of the confluences that I used. So one of the contributing factors to my bias. Then it created a gap. So it created a pretty big gap in price here. And my thought process was, okay, we started down here, big opening candle. I didn't bother covering the wick. I just covered the low here. So I entered in at this candle, one of these candles, and I was targeting the top of the gap, okay? Because in my opinion, yes, we had a big drop down, but price created a gap. I've got bullish bias coming into today, and I feel like we're going to continue heading up. So we went up here as price started to stagger. So this trade was held for, I think, about 4 or 5 hours. Was it 9, 10, 11, 12? Yeah, around 4 hours or so. As we started to come down and price started to stagger, I just took profits, right? And that was pretty good. Now, what ended up happening was it dropped a little bit and then it flew past my take profit, which was just up here at the end of the gap. But I was happy either way because I secured majority of profits there. So that was that trade there, and I think that trade was around $500-600. I think from memory, I can't remember. Might have been 400. It was around $500. So that was the first trade, and then this trade was yesterday, the 27th. This was a short on gold, and again, this was actually, you can't see it on Top Step here, but this was utilizing a gap that price had created. So price had created a gap on opening. It was around here. I use this no close here. So price swept this internal high here, this protected high, and in my mind, I was targeting the low here, but as soon as I saw that it dipped down, I was on TradingView, it filled the gap. As soon as I saw that it filled the gap and started to come up here, I closed on this candle here for 1.86 risk to reward, which I was happy with as well. So that was like another $200 or so. I think later on that day I took a small trade, but it ended up being, it was very small when it was like $80, maybe $100. So I'm not really going to bother showing that because it was basically a break even. But they were the two main trades that I'd taken, and really all I take my trades on, especially ones like this, it's just on continuation. So I trade off of continuation, I guess you could say a lot of supply and demand, but really points of interest, which is like protected structure are my points of interest. So protected lows, protected highs. And I like to trade, I'm very much a continuation trader. So I don't like to do trades that go against the trend, counter trend trades. I'm not really, like, sometimes I do that. As you can see from the gold trade earlier, I do that. But majority of the time, I like continuation trades. And this was a continuation trade. On the higher time frame, we were still continuing bullish and a bullish trend. So that was my bias there. But pretty much they're the two main trades that I've taken. And one thing I want to show you here, again, just to reiterate to you, is like, look how many losing days I've had. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What's that? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 losing days this month. And I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winning days. And I'm up for the month. Okay. So if you're strict on risk management, it really doesn't matter. Like, losing streaks, losing days don't matter. You look at the comparison of how big the losing days are compared to the winning days, and you can see that this will add up. So as long as you're strict. So say from here, if I'm like, I've got 3 winning days in a row. If I trade today and I have a losing day, I might just risk like half this balance in total. Like, if I get to negative 100, negative $150 on the day, and my balance is down to 150, I'll probably just stop trading for the day because that's what I'm comfortable with losing, and then I come back the next day, right? But now I know, if I'm strict on risk management, it just reiterates to me, if I'm strict on risk management, then it only takes 1, 2 winning days, right? 1, 2 winning trades, really, to come up into profit, and I'll be closer and closer to that balance. So if I have another trade like this, I'll pretty much be almost at that $1,000 balance, right? And I could risk more and I could have bigger trades, right? But I don't want that. There's no point in me doing that and risking more until I have the process down and I know I have more confidence in these trades. I can just slowly risk more and more, but now I'm happy with the risk that I'm at. And if I'm hitting days like this, then it adds up. If I have 5 winning days like this in a row, like, I'm at my $1,000 plus balance, right? So I'm just going to keep going until I hit at least close to $1,000 balance before I take a payout. When I do take the payout, I'll let you guys know. But as it stands, the big blue button here, yes, I can request a payout, but I am not going to yet. I don't want $150 because $150 is, $158 is 225 AUD. Not sufficient for me. It's not going to be big enough for me yet. To have it really mean something to me, I want it to be at least $500, which if I do $500, go to, that's 715, around 700 AUD, then I'll start to say, okay, that's actually close to $1,000. Like, for my first ever payout, that's pretty good, right? So I'm going to leave it there, but I will update you guys as I go along this journey. When I take my first payout, I'm obviously going to make a video about it. Make sure to follow me on Instagram as well, but if you've been watching me for a while, I don't have too many subs on here at the moment, but appreciate those of you who are watching and following along with the journey, and I'll keep you guys updated as I go. But last thing I want to say is that don't worry if you have losing days or you have a big losing streak. Like, I came off a losing streak of, say, like 6 or 7 trades, and then it only took like 2 to 3 trades to just make all that back, right? And it's because I was strict on my risk management. So don't worry about losing streaks, losing trades, losing days. It's okay. Even like losing weeks and losing months, just be strict on your risk management, follow your rules, focus on the process and not the results. And the results will just be a byproduct of you following your rules and your process and knowing, taking high probability setups and really just sticking to what you know. Don't take risks if you haven't gotten data on it. Don't risk capital if you don't need to, just for the sake of trying to get profit or getting a payout. It's nothing like that at all. Just stick to what you know. collect data, follow your rules, and the results will speak for themselves. So I'll update you guys as I go along. If I trade today, I'll let you guys know how that goes. I'll update you guys as much as possible. I would love to do daily updates, but at the moment it's looking like a few times a week I'll update you guys. But hope you're staying safe. I'll see you in the next one.